I'm so excited about working with you, Drake, and that you agreed to kind of let people see how we're building a mobile site for me and record it so that people can see how easy this is to do. And I think this is a great solution for a lot of businesses where they go, we need an app, and really what they need is a solution like this. So Drake, would you just introduce yourself briefly and then we'll get into it?
Cool. My name is Drake LaDue, and I'm the CEO of BrandX Mobile. And BrandX Mobile is a strategy, a mobile strategy design and deployment firm, marketing firm. We've recently built something that's been very close and dear to my heart for the past 5 years, which is our own mobile-friendly website builder. We took on the task because Google changed a lot of the rules recently, and most of what you have available to you does not conform to what Google is really looking for today. So we've built something that helps you conform to the Google standards, so this way you can be found easier, and also at the same time really provide your end user or your audience with an experience that keeps them coming back.
And I just want to add stuff because I was with you with some other work you did on it, and I remember doing a training once, and it was with some of the small business executives, trainers, instructors. And when we met, you said, showing me the analytics, and you said, Martin, this is not the audience that you need to be in front of, because I had told you I was targeting certain corporate clients, and you had really got, these were smaller micro businesses. And it was so funny that you named almost to the T the percentage of people that were in the audience, that all they had done is scan the QR code, looked at my page. And that kind of got me excited about this, the amount of data you were able to extract out of just a few people trying out my QR code that went to this first version. This was like beta 1 of what you're doing now, you know?
Oh, yeah. You know? It's funny, Martin, looking back, it's one of those things where you just go, wow, some things I really hit and some things I really missed. As a matter of fact, if you go on LinkedIn and you look at something I put out, which was something called Outrageous Mobile Predictions. And I named myself as one of the first guys, because when it first came out, I said, oh my God, this is like having a billboard for in my audience's pocket. And I was so wrong. Right. Anyway, with that said, hey, Martin, we're going to build you a front page today. You know, we've been
we're starting with the kind of the beginning page, and then we'll lead out. So over to you. Just start sharing what you got and what you're doing.
Okay, well, I'm going to take over the screen. So excuse me for a second.
Yeah, go ahead and share screen.
Real fast, folks, this is our website, and I'm known as the Mobile Madman. Yes, and if you can't tell me, you'll understand why. So everything in my world is about relevance and experience. It's something that Google is pushing, and it's something that Google wants you to conform to. So with that said, what we're going to do is we're going to take a little walk down Mobilution, which is our brand new mobile site builder. And I'm going to log out real fast. This way you can see the front end screen. This is the front end screen, and if you decide that this is something you want to work with, this is what you would see when you sign up and get your own mobile site builder. So what we're going to do is it's already got my admin password, and I'll hand this over to you, Martin, probably tomorrow, so you can go in and play with it yourself. But what we've done is we sort of set up a design in the background this way we can just show you how fast and how quickly we can execute a page. And we've already timed this once before, and we can get a page done in about 30 minutes. As long as everything works well for us and our design fits well. So we're going to do our best to get through in about 30 to 45 minutes. So this way, if you have any questions, you can ask. Okay. So this is the front screen that you land in when you first land here. And you see it says Mobilution, and we're going to rename that in a second for Martin. Some of the main things you want to do really fast the first time you come in is you want to go to the configuration here, and you want to name your site. You want to give it an email address, this way if somebody wants to email you through your mobile site, they can. This information, we can post this up on our site to show you what you want to put in here, but this is where you put your Google Analytics or any global information that would be important to a search engine. Sort of like if you know anything about Google Webmaster, you'd want to put your authorization codes in here. So we've already loaded up Martin's favicon. We can go look at this real fast. And there he is. So if you decide to bookmark his site down the road, you will have this on your phone. So, alrighty. So with that, we're going to go over here and cancel out. And the neat thing about, oh, I'm sorry, one last thing. This is the canonical URL. This is what helps Google decide where to send your site based on what type of screen size it is. So if we were on a desktop looking at trying to get to Martin's mobile site, it would say, oh, no, I'm sorry, that we need to send it to this location instead. So it's a great way to do redirection without burning a redirection. Google allows you up to 2 redirects, and most search engines allow you up to 2 redirects. If you go beyond that number of redirects, you're going to cause a 404 error on the end user side, and it's going to scare them. So it's a great way to save a redirect. So there's some other items in here. These are advanced. They're not really fun or exciting, so we're going to go past that. You have the ability to add languages. So you can quickly add Spanish, Arabic, Chinese. We have all of the potential languages. I think we have like 142 languages in here. It's quite massive. So you can pick, and then you can do it 2 ways. Based on the user's phone, if they have it set up for their language, it'll automatically pull this language in. Or you can give them a choice of picking which language they want to use. So, but for now, for today's purposes, we're just going to leave it in English. In here, okay, so we've been through config. There's some plugins in here that give you the ability to augment them, such as a MailChimp, or where you can add your MailChimp. Oh, folks, I'm sorry, we're taking down add this, just so everybody knows. If they do get in here for some reason and you're working in here, add this is coming out. Add this and Google are not playing nice in the sand part right lately. So we're getting hits. Bad hits because of this. So actually, the neat thing is that we can come in here and disable this, okay? So, or not put any user ID in it at all. So with MailChimp, you would just add your API keys, so this way any of the forms that you built, you can connect data back to your MailChimp account. So
it would be for people wanting to sign up for, like I right now use Constant Contact, so that they could sign up right off the mobile platform.
Right. So you can create a form. Our toolset has a great form tool in here, and it will connect to the MailChimp, your MailChimp account. If for Constant Contact, we are actually in the process of building a Constant Contact plugin for it. So we will offer Constant Contact in the long run. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to quickly go through the global design. Right now, we have one theme. Excuse me. We'll have more coming soon. It's mainly because we've been in the process of making sure all the tools work right, but we'll have quite a few themes, and we're also going to open the door for developers and also designers. So if you want to sell your themes or you want to sell your designs, we're going to have a market for you to actually add your designs and your themes here. So we want to sort of become like a market space and a tool set for designers and developers. So this way they can learn good mobile practices and at the same time earn some cash or help their end users with new designs. So in here, you click on options, and this is a really robust editor. It does a lot for us. I've already loaded the content text color that we're going to use. All right, and you can click on it and you have a nice jQuery picker here, or you can just add your hex code, same thing with the link color. This is quite unique and very easy. If we watch this area, watch what happens. I'm going to change my content margins, and you'll see things
nice
actually just by sliding. So you can get a really good feel of how your design is going to work. Same thing with the footer. Okay, Now, real fast, folks, you see blue and red here. Blue is page-specific content. Red is global-specific content. So if you change something in a red area, it's going to change that content wherever that red container is on your site. We do have and we'll go through it really fast, but we do have a way for you to get rid of this and just have blue containers. So this real fast is something that's a Google best practices. And if you see that a lot of our pieces have little pop-ups to help you guide through the process. Excuse me. So resizing viewport, real simple, is the ability to actually take your fingers and spread the screen. That is actually a bad practice, because what happens is if the end user spreads their screen, they often get lost because you can make it really big really fast and not know where you are. And if they're frustrated, they're going to leave. And there's some really great analytics that are really bad for businesses if they don't conform to some of these simple standards. So same thing works in the background here. We have a content background. This will be the actual, see here we have a white background, but we're gonna put a image back here. So this allows us to dictate how the image is going to sit. All right, and I'm gonna want it to sit in the left top. We're gonna have 100% auto. Okay, which means 100% wide, and it'll resize north and south. And we're going to use a full screen image, which right now is 800 by 1480, and we don't want it to repeat. So the header settings, which are up here, and if you'll see, real fast. So we're able to design our container area real fast, our left side. We're going to go with a, oh, I'm so sorry. The color sides here are blue. Let me close that. Okay, so this is blue, the dark blue, and our background color is white. And we know this because we have Martin's logo. We want to make sure that it sits on a white background. Right here, we can give ourselves a little drop shadow, a little space. Okay.
Nice.
And then we can go to the left side container, and this dictates our menus. Oops, so sorry. Dictates our menus over here. So we're going to go with the background color dark, so it matches our lines over here. So we have brand continuity. Links will be in light blue. So if we decide we're going to have an icon schema or an icon text schema, the links will be in blue. The font color at the title here will be in white to offset the blue, which will be nice and it'll pop really easy. We can change the title margin. Okay, and how it sits. Font color for the box here will be dark blue. The title font color will be white. We can now change the margin in here. You'll see the margin change right there. What you want to be careful of is that you sort of want to make sure your margin sits outside of the shadow. Okay, something like that. And now we will close this one up. And now we will close this one up and open up the right one. And in here, we've made this a standard in the dual slide out panels. We've made the right-hand side your contact area. It's a great way to always provide your contact information no matter what page you're on without actually taking up potentially very useful real estate with having a lot of social icons and whatnot and phone numbers. You're more than welcome to put a phone number on every page. That is a good practice. But just so you know, if you don't want to, you'll make sure that your content's in here. And we're going to show you something really neat about this. I don't have it prepared for Martin's, but I will show you ours on some really cool information that we put inside this that you can generate on your own that helps you in the search engines. And we'll show that at the end if we have time. So we hit save, and now our global design is pretty much ready. We can go in and start editing the individual pages. The neat thing about this is that if I don't want that there, I can move it over here. I can move it over here. So we've really thought about, as best as we can, you know, what are people going to do in here and how are they going to use it? So we're going to go to pages real fast, and because we're going to set one up, we're going to actually set it up from scratch. You can add menus very quickly and very easily. Okay, just by clicking add, we can say, we can call this Martin's Podcast. Okay. And we can decide that tree is very much like a tree menu is an up and down and submenus, and then a list would be sort of left to right with full detail. Most menu systems are trees. That's probably what you want to pick. And then you say add. Oh, I apologize about that. I have to go yell at the guys. Sorry, we will fix that. I don't know why that's happening. But anyway, we'll skip over that real fast. So here's a page. If we wanted to add a page, works the same way. We add a page. I am going to shoot my team. So we'll take care of that.
They're probably developing, they're probably updating something, right?
No, what they did was they added you very quickly as we were coming in here, but it's okay. We'll work with the one page for now. And don't worry, you can go on our site. There's plenty of tutorials on how to do everything we're doing here, and it's all video driven, so you don't have to read, you can watch. So with that said, we're going to name Martin's page home. The neat thing about this is that if I wanted to rewrite the URL, you have that option. We can actually call this Martin Brossman and oops, no space, and Associates. Now this is really long. We don't recommend having a long URL path, but you could have one just that long. So what we probably really want to do more than anything else is leave it at home. Okay? Whether or not this page is visible or not. Now, remember when I told you that you have the option of getting rid of the red containers? This is where you would do it. You could have a main page, a main setup, which is the red containers, or you can say campaign, and it won't have any red containers on the front page. For this purpose today, we're going to leave it a campaign. Here's something unique about our system. You can SEO every single page, which almost no other system actually has out there. So you can, instead of SEOing it across the board, you can properly name and index your page, which is really what all the search engines want today. So we're going to say this is a good name for this would be Martin Brossman's Martin Brossman, oops, and Associates mobile site, mobile friendly site. Now we probably want to do a little bit better than that, and I've got to learn how to spell friendly.
Not going to happen. I'm still creative.
Yeah, I know. And let's get Martin capitalized. Now this is where, now keywords today, just so everybody knows, nobody really uses keywords anymore. They ran out. It's funny that I think we all said this years ago. We said, eventually just going to run out of words, and that's what happened. So there's no distinction anymore by using keywords from business A to business B if they're the same business in the same city. Virtually impossible now to actually have a distinction. So what these are focus words. So what you want to do is you want to pick the focus words we're going to have in the site. So in this page, we're going to have the about, okay, and we're going to have some social, and we're going to have coaching, okay. And you probably want to leave this to 3 to 10, no more than 10. What happens is you start looking very spammy.
Right.
If you start going past that, and then they start.
Go ahead and just change the coaching to like business coaching. That would distinguish it.
Well, you'd want, in that case, you'd say coaching, and then we'd want to say,
okay,
coaching, and then put the comma, because two-word keywords are very important today. Focus words are important. So coaching, business coaching, and then maybe we'd want to put a research triangle part, right?
Right.
Okay, and that's probably where you want to sit. You don't want to go very more. Now, description, I'm going to cheat here. I'm going to go up to Martin here, and I'm going to take this, copy it,
right,
and then I'm going to come back to here and paste it. Okay. Now, we do have tools on our site that actually count the amount of words. You want to keep the meta title here in SEO to about under 72. And you want to keep this under 150, I believe it's 160 words, 160 characters, and we're probably right about there. Here you have the option of redirecting this page if you want. So let's say this page is a campaign page, and you don't, you want to just change it now. You can. You can actually leave your design in place, so you can go back and edit it for future campaigns. And then you could redirect this page to a proper URL, another URL within the site. You can disable the page. You can make it secured, which means that even if we know the URL, we're not getting to it. and then open a new window. We don't recommend this. Google likes to see a lot of open windows. Unfortunately, on a mobile device, it gets it starts to really take up bandwidth, and secondly, they get lost very quickly. So this is not something we recommend unless you're opening up a third-party software service, such as Facebook. You want to open up a new URL. All right. So you can use an alias that helps us find the page in the code. We can create alternate pages that can all link back to here with a keyword. This is going away and being used for something else, so this is going to become null and void. Now this is where we get really powerful. If anybody's out there that happens to be an SEO person or a item prop person or a meta person, I'm sorry, my dogs are barking.
Or a dog lover.
Yes, I got 3 very large dogs. So anyway, right here is where you would put your meta tags or your open graph pieces, your Facebook open graph meta tags, or your what is that called? That is called schema.org, and there's one more, Dublin code, your Dublin code, meta code. So this is where you put that by page. That's something you don't get inside mobile sites. That's something you don't get inside even a mobile optimized website. Building each page code like this is tedious, but the value you get out of it is incredible, because we have a case study with one of our clients that we had challenges getting ahead of one of the local competitors for years. We just could not beat them, and primarily because they had 8 locations. They had been in the internet. They've had a website for 20 years. We couldn't beat them. As soon as we launched their mobile site with the proper meta tags, within 3 days, they were #1 on Google. So it was recognized extremely quick. Now, this isn't going to always happen, but if we do it right, Google will recognize that this is important. This is how they wanted it. You conformed, and a lot of people are not doing it. So last piece here, and then we'll start to move on real fast, is where we get to decide what type of background image we're going to have here. So this is the background image we've decided to have. Okay. And so on. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit save. Once it turns gray, you are ready to go into the page. So let's go edit content. Now, you'll notice that your screen looks kind of funny, that you really can't see your background. And that's because what's happening is because we're on the web, it's rendering the page as 100% wide. We're working on this as we speak. You'll be able to see it shortly. I could change it so you would see it, but I've already got the design set up. I mean, we pre-designed this inside Photoshop, so we know exactly how it's going to sit. All right, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to add, okay, so right now, I don't want this container like that. So if we see these spaces, I'm going to want a full screen here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly jump back to design. I'll go back to options. Thank you. Appreciate you moving faster. And I'm going to shut this, make that a lot tighter. Oh, okay. All right, hit save. I'll go right back to content. All right, you'll see that fixed that right away. Okay. Let's change Martin's logo right now. So if you see, a cog allows you to decide what we can do. All right. And we're going to use a logo, and we're going to add a logo. Oops, that's size. We can go add a logo. Boom. Okay. Now, this means that it is as big as you can make it in that area, and we're going to leave it like that because there's a lot of text here, and logos that have a lot of text, if you play with them, it's just not going to look right on any mobile device. So we're going to leave it that size, and you look, it fills the space very nicely. Very nice. All right. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to add an image. So if you notice, what we do is we have a couple of different menu items here. Media, grab the image, and then we're going to drop it in this container. And it's going to open up to one of our other areas. Okay? And the image we want at the top is this one. Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. I did the wrong thing. Let me go back. This is what happens when you move fast. I actually want to do something different. I want to add a columns because I want to add content to that image. I want to put text over that image. So I'm going to add a column. Now, this is really cool. This is a very detailed container that allows us to really manipulate how we see our area. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this image, which is what we want. Confirm. Okay. We're going to say, okay, so background position is left top. We're going to keep that background size, same like you would have with your big background image. We're going to say 100% auto. Okay. And then this is the inner container where we're going to actually edit content. I'm going to leave it full for the moment. Okay. I hit confirm. Now you'll see that we don't really see the image, and that's okay, because what's going to happen is as we add content, it's going to expand. So what we're going to do very quickly is we're going to go back to Martin's site, and we're going to say, how can we help you in your business today? Okay. Oh, let's close that page. Now, I want to add a content area in here. Okay, I'm going to add a rich text editor. Okay. Once again, I get the same type of options, which is, once again, a really cool thing. I'm going to say confirm. Then I'm just going to go click on that container. And you'll notice now we see what's back there. And we've also got a full WYSIWYG editor up there. Okay. Oh. This WYSIWYG editor is an incredibly powerful tool. It actually has its own repository, so this way you can actually add a lot of detail to some of the content you're putting in there. But for the time being, we're just going to put in here the stuff we copied and paste. All right. So now we notice that's a little bit low. All right. And what we want to do is we want to just hit a couple of returns. Right there. We want to make it bold. Let's say bold, 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 bold. I'm right here. Okay, so it's bold. We want to make it a, let's say we want to format it as a header. I'll say heading 2. All right, and we notice it's getting a little bit big. So now understand what you see here on your screen may or may not, it's not exactly how it's going to display on the phone. This happens in all mobile builders. This happens on the website. You see things that are different than what you see on your actual device, and it's because we're working in a certain size container. We're working so this way it feels more real down the road. Now it seems like it's up there. So what we're going to do real fast, we're just going to make sure by scanning a QR code that this is working well. And this is how you test mobile on a regular basis.
Oh, I see. So you can just scan it and you see what it looks like. So
that's right. So now you can actually start to see.
I'll get mine on my end too.
There you go. If anybody has their own, we are working on an actual emulator that'll sit next to the screen over here. So this way you can just look at it real fast and see if everything is in order. And I really hope it does, because I'm going to feel really embarrassed if it doesn't. Okay. Oh, I forgot to do something. Very important. Publish. So, how's it look so far, Martin? Looks pretty though, doesn't it?
It does. I'm just getting my barcode reader. I turned off the phone for noise.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Here you go. Now scan.
1 second to get it. I had to reboot my, the phone was off, so it wouldn't bother us.
Gotcha.
It wouldn't vibrate the whole time. And
I do have to fix the placement. That's okay. It's going to take us just a second or two to fix the placement.
Go ahead and do that, and let's come back to it, because I'm going to get, and then we'll bring it up again.
All righty. So we want to add some space. So we'll just hit, let's see, 1, 2, 3 returns, and I promise you it's going to look great. I know it doesn't, but I promise you.
Publish show QR code. Okay, then go ahead and do the QR code, and I'll where's it going here?
All righty.
Damn, come on, be nice.
It's okay. Well, all righty. Let's get this. Now, This is not for the lighthearted, and we're doing some very advanced, some advanced stuff here. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to tell it to give a little bit more space at the head, so we don't have returns, because returns aren't really the right way to handle it. So this is just really simple stuff. If anybody knows this, and by the way, we will have tiny little tutorials on this type of stuff on how to just change this stuff real fast. And we're going to say margin top, actually padding top. And we're going to say 20 pixels. Okay. All right, and that's really all. We're done. And then what it's going to do is actually going to give it, oops, I did not close it properly. There we go. There we go. Okay. All right, publish. And I'm just going to check real fast one more time. And then what we'll do is, if it's not sitting right, I will make sure it sits right. It's still a little tight. And you can come back to it later, but I'm just, now I know exactly what we have to give it. There you go. And it should look much better now. There we go. It's starting to look a little bit like what I want it to. All right. So now the next piece that's going to go in here. Oh, I'm so sorry. Let's go back. The next piece that's going to go in here is another column. We're actually going to put a spacer. Hold on. Let's see. Content. All right. And we're going to add a couple of spacers. So this way we want to get the right amount of space. All right. Now the next piece we're going to add here is another set of columns. We're going to add a background again. Confirm. Okay. Now the neat thing with ours is that you can actually put other stuff in containers. I'm going to take this and we're going to put it right there. And we want the, I think there's an about us here. It's probably white. Yep. All right. Now that's big, right? It feels big. It looks big. But let's take a quick little look. That is big. All righty. So we click on the image, and you see a little button pops up down here. Slide that up.
Scale that sucker down.
That's right. Now, there's a couple of ways to manipulate the image. We can go in here, and we can tell it to sit left or to sit center in the box. This is a great place to title it. And this is the about us. Okay. And what we do is, because we are tight on real estate, well, in this case, we actually want the about us content is going to sit on the right-hand side. But we can quickly add an about. Okay. Now, if you notice, it's the same language that we used as a description. The great thing is, if we do use a description, try to keep that in the SEO area. Try to keep that description somewhere in the about us. Okay. Now, if you want to, you can actually add video in here too. And so this way, when it pops up as a light box, you can actually play a little video. There's three types of images you can have. I'm sorry, three types of links. One is a light box. One is a URL, phone number, email, and the next one that's coming is SMS. So it's actually going to be 5. Sorry, the guys are adding stuff as every day. It's rather exciting. Alrighty, so we're going to publish again. Now here's a great thing about this. I just messed up and went to the wrong spot. I clicked the wrong button. So we went back. Now everybody's going to say, oh my God, we broke something. We're in trouble. The neat thing about our system is that we keep a record of previous published items. So this way, if you do make a mistake, it's not the end of the world. You can always go back and fix it. I'm sorry, Martin?
That's kind of like Google Docs, you know, where you've got you can roll it back if you need to.
Roll it back, correct.
So you can get in there and play and go whoops and then just go back a level.
Exactly. All righty. So now we are gonna publish it this time. And if everybody scans this real fast, we left it as a lightbox. You'll see that it'll pop up. Now you can either scan this QR code again if you want, or you could just refresh the page.
No, let me do it and scan it. I've got the app. Give me 1 second here. And the app up. QR droid. There we go. Come on, be nice. That's it. There. Got it.
Great.
Cool.
All right. That image is still a little big, so we're going to shrink it down, and we're going to push it over to the left and hit confirm.
Yeah. And here's it. Here's, you know, our working copy right on the phone. I love that because it's a quick way for you to verify it yourself where you're working with.
Yeah. Mobile's a fun place to play in. I think I have a lot of fun with it because the more you put into mobile, the more you make it an experience, the better it's going to be. Okay, which means that your client, your audience, is going to play with it more often. Okay, so we're going to hit publish one more time. Now, if you refresh again. Obviously, I'm doing a lot of talking, so it's just taking longer than a half an hour, but I promise you can do this in a half an hour.
Yeah.
So what we can do is, I know that space is going to be a little big, so what we want to do is we want to add a spacer, and we want to add another spacer underneath. Think of it as Lego.
Right.
I think that is the best way to look at this.
Yeah.
Is that it's a lot like Lego, and it's fun to play with, and it really it gets you involved in what your end user is going to see. Where when you look at a responsive site in general, you don't get to see that. You just sort of hope that it's there, and if you're not really paying attention to your mobile with what people are doing today, you'll find that you may not be delivering the experience you thought you were going to deliver. Now you see me adding a lot of little pieces. You see how my containers changed. So what I do is I added a space at the top, a space at the bottom of the image, and now what I want to do is pull it because I know I want that image in the center of that box. Publish. And real fast, we'll look one more time, and then I'll build something. I'll make this much faster so you can see what's going to happen. Refresh your screens, and look, it's starting to look and feel like we want it to.
Yep.
All righty. So you can continue to add content over here, which would be in About Us. I could go add it, but I think what I really want to do here is I want to add another set of columns. Okay, there we go. All right. I want to add, oops, I'm sorry. No, I did not want to add another columns. My bad. Oh, look, here's how you get rid of stuff. Boom, it's gone. But even if I've made a mistake and an error in what I've added, it's quickly and easily gotten rid of. So let's add some content. Martin, if I'm taking too long, make sure you tell me.
No, we're good. We're good.
All right, so let's say we want to add some of this stuff here. Okay, so we go back and we would add the rich text editor up here. All right, we don't want anything there. Confirm. Click on it. Okay, now that looks like a lot, and that could be a lot, but we don't know for sure. I do know, actually I do know for sure that is a lot of content. So let's take some of that down. All right, with mobile, I think everybody has heard the keep it short and sweet, or keep it simple. The KISS model. That is very true. It's an odd balance. You actually do have to keep it as short as possible, but at the same time, there's still things you have to conform to, so this way it comes up, and a lot of that has to do with content and how many words you have in things. So it's a fine balance. We've got all the pieces up on our sites to help you, guide you through what you should and what you shouldn't do in here. So now we've added a piece of content. Now we know that we want to add an image, so we're going to go ahead and add an image. Actually, I think we're going to add an image. Let's see. I add it here, and we want to add a success image. Confirm. As you see, it's much larger than we expect. Let's shrink it up once again. All right, we want to go in and we want to put it on the right-hand side. Now, what we were planning to do, and we're running a little short on time, so I'm not going to do this, but we'll show it to you after the site is completed. We were going to add some nice language here that when they press it, when somebody presses it, it actually pops up. It actually pops up in a light box with information. Okay, so we hit confirm. All right. Just for the fun of it, let's make sure our positioning is right. I'm going to refresh this, and I'm just going to see how it looks on our phone. Ooh, it's getting there.
Yep.
Getting close to what we want. All right. So click on this. We know this needs to be just a touch smaller, but this is one of those things where not that it needs to be smaller, but it also needs to make sure that it fills that space we have there. So once we're off it, we're going to click on it again. We're going to make sure it sits on the right. Good. Confirm. All righty. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put a little space underneath it. All right. Now we're just going to make sure the spacer skin is a space. All right. And that should do. Now we want to add another image. Okay. And this image is going to be right here. I believe this is the right one. Confirm. Yes, it is. All right. And we're going to make it sit on the right. Okay. And we should got just a bit more. So, Marty, you getting the idea how, I mean, in reality, if you know how to drop and drag.
Well, there's several things I like. One is it's got a drag and drop feel that lets you verify easy, but also some of the features I like of WordPress of being able to use this plugin system to add power and functionality to it.
Correct. That is a very nice feature. Now, we've got one more image to add here, and I'm really hoping, because frankly, I did not have a lot of time to test this, so I'm really hoping that this conforms well. And we would normally spend about anywhere, probably about an hour on a page, just to make sure that everything felt right and that it aligned right with a couple of different types of phones. Okay, let's say right. Good. You see how that? Now we want to put a little space above it. And let's see how we're doing at the bottom. We want just a little bit more space. I know we do. Now, what we're working on, folks, is instead of having to stack these spacers, we will deliver in any of the units some clear spacers for you to use of different dimensions. So they'll work just like images, but they'll sit there clear. Nobody will see them. And then you can resize them up and down very easily. All right, so this one looks like it's probably going to be a little off, but for the fun of it, let's hit publish and just take a quick look. See how we're doing. Oh, we're almost there. Cool. Yeah. Now, what we have there is we have actually things that are sitting well from a left and right. This one here needs to come down a little bit. We see that? Okay. Boom. Now, once again, I did not test it, so it may look a little messy on the front screen. It normally would not look this messy, but it's still working out nicely.
Yeah.
Okay. Space. All right. And I think we are good. Okay, that's right. We need a little bit left. All right, so if we notice that the images aren't sitting well from left to right. Come on, don't argue with me here.
I'm right with you.
No, not you. The system.
Oh.
Hold on a second. Okay, let me publish again. Let's see how we're looking. Okay, it's looking almost like what it should. Yay, I feel better. Now, this is a complicated layout, just so you know, folks. This was not something simple, and there's a reason why we built it complicated, is because what we're trying to give here is if you start to look at your screen and start to slide your screen up and down, you should see that background sit still. And if it isn't, we will fix that real fast. And it'll feel like you're moving over the cloud, so it's giving a dimension over the background. The more look and feel we have to a depth, the better it is. The more people will interact with it. So. All right. Now we want to get these a little bit more on the right-hand side. Of course, it's not playing nicely with me. What happens when we do that? There we go. Okay. So if we notice that shrunk drastically, okay. We see this right here. We're going to move that in and out a little bit, just probably right about there. Now, Martin. So, Martin, how do you feel about this so far?
I love the movability and ability to change it, because it looks like once you build something, you could get in there and move it around or change it, and that's to me quite appealing. That you have the power to do it, and now instead of you've got this mobile version that if you learn your customers want X before Y, you could get in there and change it.
Yes. Okay. All right. Well, folks, listen, we are really pushing it here. I don't want to take too much more of your time. It needs to be fine-tuned, but I'll tell you what. We will show you what this looks like probably in about 2 hours. If you want to reload the page, it'll be built and recorded. Oh, there we go. Things are popping up. But you'll see that everything is starting to fall in line. We probably did too big of a very advanced site here for a demonstration, but you'll see it in about an hour, and I think you'll be happy with it.
Well, so, you know, Drake, this is something that you are at a very rapid feed adding features to, and
yes.
And I just want to acknowledge you of sharing during the development what you're building, you know, and of course you guys still do pay for you to build it just the way you want, but you're developing a tool that a client could either still come to you and have you customize something, or they could come to you and get this pre-built and then they could modify it. And that's what I find so attractive. You know,
yeah.
I mean, if someone just said, hey, I want someone to build a really good mobile responsive site that works almost like an app, you guys got that tooled in right now. But you're building something that will then give them the power to change it themselves. And that's, to me, the real neatness of, and as it's you're working to build it with the ease of drag and drop and some of the power features that you find in something like WordPress.
Yes, as a matter of fact, our developers, our CTO is a big WordPress fan, and he builds with that mindset on a regular basis. what ends up happening, you'll see this. And I wanted to show you just so you know that
sure.
This site here is very similar to yours. I was trying to make something really fun and cool, and it will be very fun and cool in about an hour. But if you actually scan this, take a look at this.
Let me go ahead and scan it in a second.
And we built this, no joke, we built this in 40 minutes once we had the layout set. Okay.
Right.
We timed it.
That's incredible. Let me get back and scan this one. There we go. That's a little happy beep.
Mm-hmm.
And it's loading. It's going right to it. Now, what's interesting is how often when I do a QR code scan, it stops and lets me see it. This will go right to it immediately. What is the quality of that? That's pretty nice.
Actually, that has more to do with your scanner than it does anything else. But here's what we do have, and you'll have this in your system as well very shortly, is this piece right in here. This here is telling this little bit, and don't be afraid by it, folks. We actually have this as an automatic generator for you.
Right.
So you can go online and create this code with just entering your information, and it'll spit this out for you. And then what it's telling the phone is, this is a really cool site. There's nothing wrong with it. It's meeting the Google regulations. And this information will actually transfer to anything you send out. So if you text this out, it'll send the information like this. It'll tell everybody what it is. Wow. Which is really important now, because everybody should be a little concerned about what you open up on a mobile phone, because there are now viruses and there are bad things in the mobile world. Okay, but do yourselves a favor, Martin, real fast, press one of the tools, press one of the buttons.
Okay. Oh, no, I have.
Okay.
I'm playing with it while you're talking.
Cool. Okay. So if somebody please press the tools. And so on.
News team, X-Band. I'm kind of excited because I think one of my newer friends from Bangladesh is here. So he's
cool.
He has a team of guys that do development, website development. So it's hi to you. If I think it's Mona that's might be hanging out there. And they've got a computer science background, and they're just always excited about the latest technology that's going on. So,
well, it's funny. This was and we have to tell you right this, and you're more than welcome on our site. It's listed. This was actually an open source core that we used from MIT to start building it, and it was actually really neat. And I may have started this all wrong, and I'm probably going to clear this out so I can start over and build it nicer down the road for Martin. And once again, everybody will take a look at this a little later. But I'm going to actually eliminate everything and start working on it again. So,
sure. You just showed some moving ability, and you know, I just want to be upfront with people. You've been bold enough to let us see the back room of a development as you're perfecting this product. So this is kind of exciting to see what you're doing, and then you're real big on paying attention to the customers. So as people want more features, you'll be developing them, and then also you're real good at paying attention to usability features and adjusting for it. So
here's something interesting, Martin. We have a whole new V-card model, and it's really neat. And instead of running you through a build, right here it tells you first you have to set up your company information, and then you have to set up your employees. So as you've seen in the past, our V-card models, they look like this, which is really neat.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me go to... It's gonna rain.
Is it coming in?
The rain?
Yeah.
Yeah, it just thundered, which is nice.
Oh, I'm happy to see it. It's hot in Raleigh.
Okay. And of course, as soon as the rain comes, my internet connection slows down.
That's right. Yeah, it is funny. So you're gonna get Google, you think, when you get it, Google Fiber?
Yes, I'm going to. As soon as I can, I will. It's much faster than the cable service that we use. and makes me much happier. Here we go. Okay.
At it.
Yeah, it's I have the fastest here at the home office, but it's still just not fast enough. There we go. Now it's going to load. There we go. Okay, great. So you'll see this is kind of cool, right? And when it displays on your phone, it's really nice. You can email, you can drop down the V card, send, map, etc. But what's really cool is that you get to customize your V card now, where before when we were doing V cards, you couldn't. You can only do pieces of it. Now you can actually design your V card that makes it look really interesting, fun, and engaging. And this, we've got a big superhero thing going on right now to push the new product. So that's why I have a dog facing a cartoon. So, but the other cool thing that we're doing down here, and we've given you some pointers real fast, Martin, and then we'll end this, is on our site. Let's go to Movolution.io. On our site, if you go to, oh, by the way, and once you become a member, you get to see all this internal pieces here, and you actually, from a WordPress front end, you actually can do some of the management of your site and some of your development. So, but real fast, if you go to our facts, you can actually go see how all of this works. Okay, let's see. Let's just real fast go to add a V card. And you'll see a video of us running through how to do it. Okay, definitions of what all these pieces do. And if you see here, there's a little LinkedIn. So if you, we're adding all the little cheat sheets. This way you can go and grab the code, and you can actually have a live environment from your social feeds built inside and wrapped around your mobile brand. And it works really nice. And it's really easy to do. And we show you how to do it. So this way, we're here to always help you. So with that said, I'm going to stop, Martin. I think I'm just about out of time. Do you ever open this up if anybody has any questions?
Yeah, I've got to. Let's see. Let me go ahead. I'm going to go to the page. I didn't set us up for a live chat, but I'll see if we have any questions there. We can ask it. So give me 1 second to our event.
Sure.
And I know we have someone watching here on Build a Modal Platform. If there's any questions, post it in the community. So looks like we don't have any at the moment.
Okay. What we will be doing, folks, is that on a weekly basis, we'll be picking a specific subject to talk about. And from Movolution and Brand X's side, we're going to actually be having Hangouts, showing people how to conform to some of the best practices and why you want to do it. And then we'll actually be doing something unique. And I'm a big risk taker. You know, either it wins or it doesn't win. But we're going to actually be doing things where we actually launch campaigns live. So this way we can actually see how they're working and what we can do to change the experience based on whether or not somebody's engaging or not. And that's some of the benefits of a mobile site, a mobile-friendly site builder, where you're probably not going to go into your WordPress site and change a page live. Where in a mobile site, we could quickly do that. We could actually have contingency pages set up and quickly move them around and change them. Not necessarily as an A/B, but actually as, oh, wait a minute, this isn't working at all. We need to change this. And you actually have that ability very quickly if we prepare ourselves properly. So anyway, and by the way, Martin, I'm going to give you a code. So this way folks could get a super discount from us. And I'll send that out later.
I'm always for that.
And folks can sign up, and it'll be exclusive because they're followers of you, because you're awesome.
Thank you. And then we're going to be doing some more. Please put questions in. We've got a very good fundamentals of mobile that you and I did, a hangout. That's if you're washing some dishes or doing something, put it on the YouTube. I think it's very good for people trying to catch up from ground zero of what's been changing. And then also I want to just ask you is the new area of beacons, which is coming down the pike, related to what you're doing or not? Because you've got the beacon, and now everyone's coming out with a beacon.
Well, yeah, the iBeacon was launched at the Super Bowl a year and a half ago. I think it was. Yeah, about a year and a half ago. I have not seen one single statistic on it yet. All I do know is that everybody has an app. I do know that I've been talking with some major corporations involved with iBeacon because they're using it wrongly. It's a great technology, but you have to have the right app to work with the vendor that has that. It's really cost effective from a store point, but our concern in the mobile world is that this is a technology that is premature for the consumer, not necessarily from a tech side, but from an engagement side. It's kind of scary. If I have your iBeacon app and I've signed, let's say it's Oshkosh, whatever, and I walk by your store and I have no intentions of hanging out at your store today, nor did I even think about it, but I walk by the store, it tells me, hey, why don't you stop by and I'll give you something. Now, I understand from a business owner's point of view why you'd want to do that, but understand, remember when I said I was wrong that this is a billboard? Right. I was really wrong that this is a billboard. The more we invade people's privacy when they don't expect to experience,
they don't give permission for it.
Well, it goes beyond that. I think the best way to look at this is like I looked for cigars earlier today on the internet, right? And later, well, I didn't really, but I'm just saying I looked for cigars today. I'm thinking about Cubans. I'm very excited about Cubans, by the way. So you look for cigars earlier today, and later on you go back. Now you've made your decision because you've probably made your decision in 90 seconds. Now I've gone back to the web, and now all of a sudden I start seeing ads all over where I might be looking for diapers now or something else, and I start seeing ads for cigars. It's not relevant at that moment in time. They've missed the opportunity, and that's the problem with iBeacon. We're trying to evoke a sale. Okay, I think the usage of iBeacon needs to be in a completely different place, and we've already pitched it to a major beverage provider along with a major coffee provider as well, and the conversations are going on still where to properly use iBeacon. It's not in the field because that all we're doing is total recall. As we walk by in the mall, we're going to start getting asked, hey, stop in Drake, stop in Drake, stop in Drake, and in 10 minutes, I promise you, they're going to be turning it off, and it's unfortunate because it's a good technology for business, just being used wrongly. So, in my opinion.
Here's what I'd love to do. So keep this in mind. If we can get one of the Facebook beacons, and then maybe do a show on. I mean, we're broadcasting live still, but I'd love to do a show of you kind of going over what is that technology and how it basic functions. Sure. You know, a primer, so they at least know what's happening. So keep in mind, I've got several clients that have ordered the Facebook beacon, and there are a whole bunch of them. I thought Facebook would be a good, safe one to start because
you know, Martin, it's not that it's. Here's the problem. It's one of these things where it's a great tool. And it should be used. It's just got to be really cautiously used because if I annoy the consumer, yeah, if you read some of the stats real fast, this is the best thing. Right here. About 79% of mobile audiences will leave a poorly designed site. And poorly designed is probably the most poorly designed experience.
Right.
Leave. So if we annoy them, they're going to run away. The chances of getting them back are 48%. And 90% of these people make a decision to buy that day or at least talk to that business that day. Why would we want to take the chance that we may upset them and annoy them just because we think it's cool that we can ping them with Bluetooth LE?
Yeah, right. I want to just say, just because you can interrupt them doesn't mean you should.
It should, right.
Fundamentals of social media. Back in the beginning where everyone was free way to get in front of their face. No, if they don't want it, they're going to turn you off and find it.
I tell business owners this, and this is the best thing. I've seen you do this as well, which is the best thing. Ask yourself, do you want to be annoyed or bothered or talked to at that moment in time when you're doing that? Ask yourself that question, and I promise you chances are your answer is going to be exactly what your audience answer is. Step outside your business. You love your business. That's why you do what you do. I love my business. That's why I do what I do. But for me to sit there and constantly hammer somebody, it doesn't make any sense. Find a solution. Provide the solution that meets the need of your audience, and they will come as long as you properly explain it, tell them, and announce it. They will, I promise. That model hasn't changed in thousands of years. So this is just a new way to get closer, build a better relationship. Because if we build a good relationship, they're going to tell their friends. They're going to recommend us more often. They're going to become brand ambassadors for us. And that's really what we want to leverage the mobile device for. We want them to help us sell a product, and we want to reward them, and we want to be conscious of their privacy.
No, that's great. Well, the other thing I just want to tell you is one more thing I saw. I got to see one of the stop into Four Saints, and they're a brewing company in Asheboro that took our social media class. Oh my gosh, you know,
Really?
Unbelievable beer. But they're playing with Rotbot. Have you heard of that?
No, I haven't. Yeah, there's a lot of apps out there.
But what they're doing, I got a little video I'll put up of them, and what they're doing is they've got tents all over the place, and you get to vote on music that would be on the electronic jukebox.
Awesome.
And it's and I mean, he's just jumping out of his skin, excited about what it offers, because they can share with their friends and vote on the music and make it transparent or not. And people are having a good time sitting there having their great beer and voting or negotiating music that plays, and then showing it offside. That, of course, brands a business. And I thought, here you've got something that uses some of the concepts I talk about of gamification concepts, of having fun with it. They're interacting. There's a free level, or you can put in money and, I guess, get to a higher level. And he's seeing some real nice in the tasting room engagement online, which is one of the things we teach in the class. Is how can you get your customer aligned so he's having an online experience when he's in your business that serves both of you. And that, you know, and that's not always an easy solution. So watch for that video. I pulled my phone out, hopefully it'll work, and got a little testimonial about how he uses it and why they like it. I'm gonna get it up online soon.
You know, I have to tell you that he's hit it on the money. You know, we tell all our clients, like right now, we ran a really cool texting thing with Wowbrows, and it's funny. It was really simple. It was just, hey, listen, you know what? If you want to sign in with text, you stand the chance of randomly winning something free. Okay, that's literally it. And you know what? We gained. In 4 months, we gained 1,000 new text clients.
Cool.
And they had fun, and they liked it, and they did it. Yeah. So, but these are things you just can't do with a mobile optimized site. These are things you can do with a mobile site, okay, where they can be flexible. You can do fun things, and you can get outside that theme box. It's really important to get outside the theme box on mobile, because if you sit outside the box, you're not going to look like your competitor, and they're going to, hopefully, if you've done the right thing, they're going to engage with you more often. They're going to play. Maybe that guy's he's probably selling more. If he's smart and he's putting something next to that, selling maybe, hey, listen, best vote wins a beer or something like that, he's probably gaining more content and more information to talk to these people again than he ever thought he could have. And it's really important.
Well, why don't we wrap it up now? And what we're going to do is, when we're at the next stage, we'll do another hangout. And just the exciting thing is they're getting to see some real development back and forth, getting to be a beginning tester of this new enhanced product live in front of the world. And, we'll do it stage by stage, and then I think it'd be fun. We'll get some votes on, do they like it? What would they change? And so forth. We'll do a little, here's my new mobile platform, mobile system here. Try it out and tell me what you like and don't like. And then have fun with this. Moving forward. So, all right. Sounds like a plan. Okay, great. Thanks so much. Great to see you. We'll catch up soon. I know we're off for meetings, so we'll be in touch. And
thanks, Martin.
Hello.
Talk to you later.